Welcome to the show. UAP Troop 33. I'm John. I'm your host. And man, do I got a wild one for you guys today. So it appears I was watching the Jesse Michaels podcast yesterday with Harold Malmgren. So he has to get some credit for me doing the research that I did last night and came across some very startling, disturbing facts. Not only about JFK, but also UAP. Um, Disclosure, recovered UAPs in the past, namely the 1933 recovered craft in Italy that was back channeled to the United States through the Vatican. And I came across some startling facts about uh, it's kind of like the Vatican's like intelligence agency, somewhat. Um, the Knights of Malta, and it's basically a secret society of Jesuits. And it appears that they've been running our intelligence agencies and held high levels of positions in our government, um, corporations, and that just you got to watch. Stay tuned. Check this out. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence in the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. I not only could not stifle controversy among your readers, I welcome it. This administration intends to be candid about its errors. For as a wise man once said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it.
So what do you guys think? That was JFK basically saying, look, secret societies, secret oaths, this is repugnant to the American way of life, to the American people. And this Knight of Malta connection with our intelligence agencies and Alan Dulles, who was in a big feud with Kennedy, he was a Knight of Malta. Let me just give you a rundown on just how deep the rabbit hole goes with this Knights of Malta connection. They were not only involved in our intelligence agencies and our government, but also private corporations, like Baron Hilton, hotel magnate. He was a Knight of Malta. Lee Iacocca, Chrysler, he was a Knight of Malta. We got Alan Dulles, ex-CIA director, who was in a big beef with Kennedy. Kennedy actually wanted to scatter the CIA to the winds, he said. William Donovan, CIA founder, Knight of Malta. James Angleton, CIA director, also involved with the Kennedy demise and a lot of other nefarious activities. He was a Knight of Malta. Here's one. West German intelligence, General R. Galen. He was Hitler's chief intelligence officer, and then after World War II, he became West German intelligence. I guess he was part of the whole Operation Paperclip thing. Boris Yeltsin, Russian president, Knight of Malta. William F. Buckley Jr., CIA officer, and he was a Knight of Malta. George H.W. Bush, remember him? William Casey, Knight of Malta, CIA director. Kim Philby, MI6, that's British intelligence, Knight of Malta. John McCone, ex-director of CIA, Knight of Malta. Clay Shaw, also involved with Kennedy, he had Knight of Malta. Oliver North, Iran-Contra fame from the 80s, Knight of Malta. That was when they were putting crack cocaine in South Central Los Angeles and arming the Contras in Central America and all kind of crazy stuff with Iran. John Poindexter, he was a U.S. admiral, also Iran-Contra fame. He was also a member of Knight of Malta. I mean, and that's just some of them. I didn't even get all of them, man. You know what I mean? And not only that, but you look at that, and then so here you have this sovereign entity, this group from Italy, the Vatican, the secret society that's based there, that also is holding these high positions in our government, intelligence agencies, and corporations. So then you have to ask, like, where does their loyalties lie? Is it to the American people? Or is it to this secret society that took these secret oaths? Is it to them? I'll tell you what I think. And I think that's obvious. And do your research. I'm not going to list my references here. You do your own research, you will find the same facts that I'm telling you here today. None of this is secret. You can look it up, ask ChatGPT or whatever you want to do. But this stuff is out there, and it brings me to the fact, you heard the Kennedy speech. Was he about to out these guys? Was he about to change the nature of governance in America and whether these people could hold positions of power while they were still members of these secret organizations? Was he about to change the world? There's claims that he was going to link up with the Soviet Union and try to get world peace, using the UFO subject and UFO threat. There was actually an article and a treaty with the Russians, and it states in that article that we would notify each other if unidentified objects had set off any, airspace alarms, or if they were meddling with our nukes. And the Russians would do the same if they were meddling with their nukes. They were doing these tests to knock UAPs out of the sky. Harold Malmgren actually told Jesse Michaels that he handled a piece of crashed UFO material in his hand. And it had to do with this Operation Bluegill Prime or Starfish Prime, I forget which one, where they actually knocked the UAP out of the sky using a nuke. I guess the EMP interferes with the UAP's navigation and ability to fly. Very crazy, man. All of it is very crazy. You look at that speech. I want you to check out this Eisenhower speech immediately after Kennedy's assassination, where he says, the American people, I have full faith that they have enough common sense. They will not be stampeded and bewildered. That's what he said. Eisenhower. Immediately after the Kennedy situation. It's crazy. Check it out.
I share the sense of shock and dismay that the entire nation must feel at the despicable act that took the life of the nation's president. On the personal side, Mrs. Eisenhower and I share the grief that Mrs. Kennedy must now feel. And we send to her our prayerful thoughts and sympathetic sentiments in this hour.
General, how would you counsel the American people at this time?
In the face of such a terrible thing, I'm sure the entire citizenry of the nation will join as one man in expressing not only their grief, but their indignation at this act, and will stand faithfully behind the government.
General, could you tell us how you got the word?
I was at a meeting out for the United Nations, and while there, a member of the meeting was called out and came back and told us the news. Although at that time, we did not know the president was dead. We did not know when I got back here at that time that he was dead. But, matter of fact, we had the last message we had was one rather of hope. And the entire company merely paused for a minute at the request of the chairman, and each of us, in his own way, said a silent prayer for the president.
Should there be any concern, sir, over national security at a time like this?
No, I think the whole nation now would be almost all of us security agents.
Will the nation be all right in the few months ahead?
Oh, I'm not going to predict anything of that. I just say this. The American nation is a people of great common sense, and they are not going to be stampeded or bewildered.
Thank you, Mr. President. History have assassinations affected.
So right there you have Eisenhower. Just after Kennedy, his demise. I got to watch what I say here on YouTube, but he said, the American people, I have full faith that the American people will not be stampeded and bewildered. They have good common sense. That's what he said. What was he talking about? Did he know something? And did you ever see that picture of Lyndon B. Johnson winking at the camera? He's got Jackie Kennedy next to him. She's in her dress, blood all over it. He's being sworn in as president on the plane before they even get back to Washington. They didn't even have to swear him in, but he insisted on this. He insisted that Jackie Kennedy stand next to him. He was a snake, man. I've read a book about Lyndon B. Johnson, and he was a dirty dude, man. He was not the kind of guy that you wanted to associate with at all. Very, very ruthless, vindictive, power hungry. This guy, man, I'm telling you, man. You see him winking at his buddy, giving him the thumbs up. I want to post that picture here. So you fast forward to today, right? Knights of Malta. And it kind of makes me wonder about now. Yeah, look, I love Danny Sheehan. I do. I don't think Danny Sheehan's up to anything nefarious. I don't. But he's a Jesuit, man. And it's basically what the Knights of Malta, similar. Knights of Malta, they had the power of governments. They're a sovereign group, and they're recognized as such. They have the ability to mint their own coin. You know, they have diplomatic immunity when they travel abroad. These are very powerful people, man. And here you see all these people in our intelligence and government who are members. I don't know who about present members. I should investigate that. Maybe I'll do an episode on that. But all I have is what I have about the past. And I would imagine there's probably a lot of members today that are still holding public office. I believe it's definitely related to the UFO subject. In 1933, the Knights of Malta and the Vatican back-channeled with the Americans to so that we could scoop a UAP that had crashed in Italy. David Gruss testified that was the first that he knows. 1933. We all thought it was 1947 with Roswell. Here, 1933. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to run that by you guys. I didn't reference a lot of my information, but you can do your own research. It's available. You know, I did Jesse Michaels, that podcast with Harold Malmgren, basically tipped me off to this Knights of Malta angle. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments. What is going on? And could this be? I mean, the secret societies and secret oaths that Kennedy was talking about in that speech. Was he talking about the CIA, Knights of Malta, secret society that are infiltrated in our intelligence agencies, Skull and Bones and whatnot? And a lot of mainstreamers, regular people laugh, call me a conspiracy theorist. What the difference? Like, I'm not even going to go there. We're going to leave that alone. But they can call me conspiracy theorist, whatever. But if you do the research, the information's there. It's all there. All you got to do is, open some books, do some searches, hit up Chat GPT or whatever your AI of choice is, and you'll see that everything I said here today is true. So that's it. That's my show for today. This is UAP Truth 33. I'm John. I love you guys, man. Till tomorrow. Peace.